Hi, this is Mike Armstrong, your state representative. I'm here on the House floor in Olympia. I represent the 12th Legislative District, which is all of Chelan and Douglas County, part of Grant and part of Okanagan County. Things are starting to heat up out here, and we're having lots of great conversations about a lot of different things. A couple of things I think you should be interested in. Number one, and first and foremost, is the state operating budget. Now, this budget is actually broken into two discussions this year. We have the current operating budget that ends the end of June this year. So the end of June in 2009, this current operating budget ends. Now, in order to get us to the end of June, we have to do a supplemental budget to fill the holes that have been created through the downturn in the economy. We think it's about $650 million. It could be as high as $1 billion shortfall just to get the state of Washington to the end of June. Then we're working on a budget that starts in July 1st of 2009 and goes on until 2011, June of 2011. That budget is the one that you hear so much about, the large deficit. The deficit is being told now to be at least $8.8 billion, and I'm hearing rumors that it could be as high as $10 billion before this session's over. So we have some huge gaps to fill. Our work has just begun. A bill that I've introduced in the last week talks about DSHS and the fact that DSHS is such a large agency inside the state of Washington, and how we could save money by breaking it up into 4 smaller agencies. The interesting thing about the bill and DSHS, first of all, DSHS gets about $10 billion out of the current $33 billion that the state has for an operating budget. They're almost a third of the operating budget. That's huge. In addition to that $10 billion, DSHS gets another $10 billion from the federal government. So they have an operating budget of about $20 billion. There are states in this United States that don't have that large of an operating budget. So we think there's a cost savings to be had by having smaller agencies that are more accountable and work more directly with the public. So that bill's going forward. The interesting thing about that bill, I had a number of people wanted to sign the bill. Ended up with 16 Democrats and 17 Republicans that signed that bill. 33 legislators out of the 98 signed the bill. So a third of the House of Representatives are on the bill. The bill's due for a hearing, and my understanding is I actually have a fairly good shot of getting that bill out. So I'll be keeping you informed about that bill and where it goes through the process. As we go through the process and we get further into it, we'll be working later and later hours here in Olympia trying to get this budget worked out. I'll tell you, it's not going to be an easy time when we come right down to the wire. There are going to have to be some cuts made, and we are trying to hold the line on taxes. We don't believe we should have tax increases. The operating budget continues to increase by 5% in new revenues that come in every year, and we think the state of Washington should be able to live within that means. So our job is to make sure we don't do any harm to you in any way, and if you have any questions that I can answer, anything I can help you with, feel free to call me. This is Mike Armstrong, your state representative out of the 12th Legislative District.